Morning, everyone. So my game plan is to just crack jokes for the rest of the 30 minutes that I have. Uh, so my title of my talk is How I Hopped My Way into Brewing Beer. Please tell me you get it. If you don't, it's awkward. So where did it all begin, right? I like to believe that my parents had a lot to do with it, believe it or not. Growing up, I always used to know my dad as someone who carried a cooler box everywhere he went, packed it with ice and a six pack or two. And it changed from Baroni to Savannah to whatever he felt like drinking that weekend. And so I vowed that I would never, ever drink alcohol because of that. But then my mom also used to travel a lot and she would talk about how she would try the local craft beers in every country that she went to. And finding that out, I was like, what do you mean? You're cooler than I really thought you were, right? What? You drink beer? What? I still vowed not to drink ever again. So then I guess the seed was planted right there and then. I just didn't know it. So then came high school where I had to choose subjects for varsity. So my initial plan was to become a forensic pathologist because of NCIS and CSI. It just looked cool, like solving cases using science and technology. I was like, yeah, this is my vibe. But with research, I found out that I'd have to be in school for another 14 years in this country. I was like, no way, Jose. I'm not going to do 7 years of medicine, 2 years of specialization. I was like, I'm fine with school. Let's keep it to 4 years max, and we're good. So then I ended up applying for my biological sciences and nuclear chemistry, and another third option, which was unfortunately medicine, actually. So my options were to become something in the food and beverage industry, to cure cancer, or to create nuclear bombs. Don't ask me why, but that was an option. So Wits took me for biological sciences, and then I majored in second year in biochemistry and physiology. I failed physiology. So then again, the food industry was calling me my name, right? Then I changed into microbiology and biotechnology to try again. Got my distinctions, and I was like, okay, maybe this is where I'm meant to be. Then I ended up doing my honors in microbiology, where I was still trying to run away from the food and beverage industry. My research was on fungal species called Rhodotolera and how it could possibly degrade plastics. So, yay for sustainability. So I finished it mid-COVID and survived the probably most difficult year of my life, right? Then I started my master's in microbiology as well in 2021, which was actually a project sponsored by SAB, and the bug bit further. The project was looking at the microbiome of barley that they use in their beers and how it could affect beer quality. So from harvest to storage, how the fungal species that are found there, bacterial species, how that can affect the end quality of the beer. Can I tell you, that was a fun project. So then enter Intervarsity 2021. So if you haven't guessed by now, I have started drinking at this time. I have started drinking because I was like, I can't do the research and not know what the product tastes like, right? Makes sense. Makes sense. And then I also joined the Bits Brewing Club that same year, also for research purposes. But clearly, I was just in charge of taking pictures because I had absolutely no idea what was happening. We were thrown into the game literally not even a month. 3 weeks before InterVarsity, they're like, we need girls in the team, hang around there. This is what we're doing. This is how we're doing it. And we're just like, okay, okay, okay. Let's just take pictures, show our involvement, and we'll get the understanding afterwards. That we'll get it afterwards. So we put our beers, we brewed our beers. We had three beers that we presented as we are we presenting beers today. And I was in charge of the presentations as well. Hello, hello. So we did presentations that Friday before, and then we had articles Saturday. So we still had no idea what we were doing. I faked it till we made it. Spoke about the beers, no idea what went into the beers, how to take it, or how it was supposed to take it, but I that is going to exist. But I think that weekend was where it really stuck to me that this is where I want to be. That weekend, I met so many great people, hearing about other varsities, how they do it, what they do, meeting industry folks and getting to know what this industry is actually all about. I will forever be grateful for that weekend because it has brought me to where I am today. Right? So after the weekend, I went home and I was like, shocked. Okay, now what's my game plan? My master's is coming to an end. I'm going to go work to my PhD or what now? But this is where I want to be. So I started applying for jobs in the green industry with no experience whatsoever. This measly honest degree, not even my master's is complete. But here I was trying to get a job as a brewer or lab tech in the green industry. It did not go the way I wanted to go. So I ended up becoming an environmental lab analyst where I was. Hello. That's better. So I ended up becoming an environmental lab analyst. So we were testing for COVID, SARS-2 on innate surfaces. I'm doing qPCR, all of the fancy lab stuff, also great fun. Then after that, I became a medical sales rep working for a pharmaceutical company. I used to sell Grandpa, Mid-Lemon, Sensodyne, great times, fun times, hated it. That's not where I needed to be. That's not where I wanted to be. So I spent 3 years literally plotting my escape from this job, right? Then early last year, I was like, yeah, no, I've done my best. It's time to go. So I quit with no plan, with nowhere next to go. And I just knew that I'm going to end up in the brewing industry. So I quit my job. Luckily that following month actually, it was BX conference. Fly Sophia was also having the 10 Rand special. So I stalked out on their website the whole day on that day. I booked 2 tickets to Cape Town for 20 Rand each. And I bought my ticket to BX and I went to BX for 40 bucks. So then I went to BX last year all by myself. And I just knew that my main aim was to get a job at BX from whoever's willing to listen, whoever's willing to take my CV. That is what I was going to BX to do. And then I bumped into Miss Apue, Miss Halimawela, who I had met at Intervarsity 2021. And I was like, oh my gosh, you remembered me? You remember me? And she's like, what are you doing here? I'm like, I'm here to find a job. I don't have a job. She's like, oh, okay. You're here alone. I'm like, yes, I am. She's like, okay, we'll talk. I'm like, great, great. That's all I needed to hear. Then a couple of months later, I think 2, 3 months later, she gave me a call and said, I have an opportunity for you. Let's have a chat. And started working at Brewsters in August last year. And I have been, yeah, it's only been a year and a couple of months, but it feels like I've been there for 10 years because I've learned so much in that short space of time. And I wouldn't trade it for anything else. This year, I sat for my CIBD exam for Module 1 in the Diploma of Brewing. And yeah, the journey continues. So in the short space of time that I've been at Brewsters, I have brewed on 30 liters, 300 liters, 1,000 liters, developed recipes that were taken to the festivals, your Capital Craft. We had a mango sorghum vice beer that we took that I developed as well. And then I had a brown ale at the Homebrewers Club. Guys, this job is fun. This job is fun. And even when it's not, it still is because it's something that I really do enjoy doing. They say if you find something that you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And I feel like that is what exactly my journey has been. And so being a part of the brewing side, as well as the front end side, where you get to engage with customers in terms of guys speaking to how they experience the products and how they feel about the products, their feedback, then taking it back to the brewing side. Okay, what do we need to tweak? Customers are liking this flavor a bit more, they liking this one a bit more. What do we add? What do we take out? Blows my mind every single time, every single time. So some of the challenges and lessons that I have learned is that even though I started my master's, I unfortunately did not complete it because I was working full time and doing my master's at full time as well. So that did take a toll on my mental health. So I took a break. But I know it's something that I will always go back to. But when you need a break, take it. Your health comes first above anything. And then searching for brain jobs when you have no experience whatsoever is not an easy feat. So despite that, I think it's a matter of keep going. If it's something that you really want to do, don't let that stand in your way. You'll find your way, you'll find your people, and people will find you. And then learning how to brew from scratch. Like I said, InterVarsity, I knew nothing. So when I started at Brewsters last year, I was like, okay, now I have to know, right? Now I have to start from scratch. And I did it because I wanted to do it. So I had to learn, apply myself, ask the questions, and do the work, put my head down and just spend the time to get to where I want to be. Because the end goal for me is to become a master brewer. So if I don't start now, no one is going to do it for me. And then don't compare your journey to anybody else. Yours may look like many left, right, and turns, ups and downs, where someone else is a straight, narrow line. You don't know what picture you're painting. You don't know what picture they're painting. Your journey is your journey. Stay in your lane, and this is your own race. And then at the end of the day, have fun, have fun, have fun, have fun, have fun. I can't emphasize that enough. If you're not having fun, you have questions to ask. And yeah, that's pretty much me. Any questions?
So I love okay, I different so different content. So I do love aspects of radio. So I wanted to know if it is possible uh, use that skill in design or analyzing the plant in the world because now I find like it's like this. I don't want to make a situation like I'm going to take to things that I like. So can I do it without everything back?
I think we can. With technology improving every day and every year, every month, that kind of technology will be required in the breeding of the future. A lot of things are starting to become automated. A lot of processes are going to require such technology as well. So you won't have to make way of the future. So find a way to make it work, and you will find a way to make it work. I'm really interested into what was your strategy, how you sold yourself to before this, how you make some need to be done and trying to get that wrong. What was your strategy, how you sold yourself? I was honest. When people ask me, what are you doing? I was like, I'm looking for a job. How do I get a job with your company? Literally, I was being honest. I said I quit my job and I would like to work in the industry. Is there an opening in your company? If so, how do I get into? If not, what are tips that you can offer me at this point in time?
Okay, can you hear me? Okay, thank you for your lovely presentation. I have one question. So, judging by what's going on around the world, we are switching to green energy, right? So, since I'm doing my research in catalysis, I'm very, very curious. Is there any other way to speed up or optimize the brewing or fermentation process without compromising the taste of the quality of the beer? I'm talking about the most cost effective and sustainable way for the production of the beer without compromising the quality. Or is it possible to do it if the research has not been done yet?
Yes, there is room for that kind of research. I think corporate or bigger companies are always looking for a way to optimize their processes without affecting the quality of your product, right? So the answer to whether it's possible if the research hasn't been done, yes. And in terms of how to do it, you're gonna have to let us know.
Okay, one oh yeah. Uh maybe you did mention it, I didn't catch it, but along your journey, you did face some challenges. Or some of them you did explain how you did address them, but judging by what you're doing right now, you also face the challenges, right? So I wish to ask, what's the most challenge that you ever faced, and what did you do to overcome the challenge?
To date, it actually happened recently. So I got my IBD results back, right? and I didn't pass. So that now sets my plan back because I was planning to do module 2 and 3 next year, and then hopefully the 2, 3 years to come do my master's in brewing. So I think in terms of overcoming that was having a support system because nobody was like, oh no, you're such a huge failure. I mean, even my boss, she was like, ah, it's okay. It was probably just not the right time. So having a support system really helps, but also knowing that you can pick yourself back up. It's not the end of the world. You can try again and try again and try again if it's really something that you want to do. And it's okay to pivot. Maybe it's not where you're supposed to go. You know, sometimes decline is not God's delay is not decline. It's just protecting you from something or prepare you for something better. So yeah. Cool.
I just want to ask if you could dive more on like recent academy itself, like how your file, if you start working like that sort of stuff.
So the Regional Academy is a training facility accredited with the QCTO, and we also do consulting as well. So we offer short courses, 1 day courses, 5 day courses, and then we also now have the 12-month membership, which is also sponsored by Food-Based CETA. So for the short courses and the learnerships, we usually post out adverts online to get your interest, and you'll send us an application. You get better art, CV, all of that as well. And then in terms of when there's a job vacancy as well, we usually have a post out on LinkedIn or on our social media to get your attention and you apply through that as well.
So it might be similar to what she asked you, but I wanted to ask, I'm a qualified chef right now. If I wanted to move to brewing, what other qualification do I need to have a microbiology degree or something to get into brewing? How does that work?
I think you probably didn't believe that we all do microbiology. No, you don't need to have a science degree. There are fine arts guys that became brewers. I know finance guys. Finance people brew beers, amazing beers, right? So no, you don't necessarily have to have a science background. It's just where there is qualifications required, we will stipulate it. But for many other things, just have to not be a
Last question, last 2 questions.
Your perspective, Boosters Academy, do you guys have a process control modules or a picture maybe focus on saying and
So the 12-month program is a program to become a process operator. So then that's where we cover all those different modules. So we have health and safety OHS, we have good manufacturing processes, we have raw material handling, and we also then go into the actual brewing, those processes, how to control quality, control points, or yeast, actual brewing process. So the 12-month program covers everything.
Last question.
so I think the biggest problem we face is just accessibility to like knowing which doors am I supposed to be knocking on and who am I supposed to be talking to. And I feel like I can relate also a lot to your story. And like since you're like a couple of steps ahead, it's like, where did you knock? Because yes, we're on LinkedIn, yes, we're applying, but it always feels like the doors are shut, you know? And it's in spaces like this where we can actually get accessibility to other people that we can talk to. But if we're not in the space, what do we do, you know?
Yeah, and that was a problem back then, still a problem now. But I think the fact that you are here, use it to the best of your ability. Because I think if I hadn't been at InterVarsity, I also wouldn't know where to knock. So being at InterVarsity is the biggest and first step to getting to know those people who spoke on LinkedIn, right? So this gives you the names to find on LinkedIn to actually then knock on those doors. And then even though it may take 5 years, 6 years to open the doors, keep knocking and you're